2016 was, to put it politely, a bit of a dumpster fire. Even ignoring the countless musical legends we lost, it's hard to swallow just how much it sucked. Countless hacks cost Americans millions of dollars and put us in perpetual fear of having our information stolen. An explosion of online harassment and fake news turned our social networks into minefields, and we basically completely lost faith in our political leaders and system. 2016 had more than its fair share of giant hacks. Over 330,000 cash registers were compromised in a single attack, and hotel chains like the Marriott and Hyatt were hit, as were fast food franchises like Wendy's. But for all the credit card data stolen, the scariest hacks didn't result in any immediate loss of cash. The IRS, Department of Homeland Security, FBI, and the election boards in Arizona and Illinois were all successfully targeted by hackers this year. Truth is, nobody was safe. Even our tech elite like Mark Zuckerberg and Sundar Pichai had their social networking accounts infiltrated. But the most high-profile hack was definitely that of Leslie Jones. Her experience with harassment at the hands of an army of racists and misogynists, egged on by garbage person Milo Yiannopoulos, proved that the internet is indeed a dangerous place. And things only got worse when her Tumblr was hacked, and explicit pictures of her were posted online. Of course, it wasn't just comedians being targeted by newly emboldened neo-Nazis, sexists, and white nationalists. Journalists, especially conservatives viewed as traitors by the far right, were hit hard. The stream of anti-Semitic images and threats received by members of the media, including multiple editors for Engadget, were terrifying enough on Twitter. But in some cases, these attacks bled over into the physical world. Anger at the media industry ran so deep this year that trust in the institution as a whole broke down. Instead of turning to established mainstream media, people retreated to partisan propaganda that simply reinforced their beliefs. Or worse, they shared outright falsehoods spread by an explosion of fake news sites. With everyone entrenched more staunchly than ever in their views, we turned on each other. Facebook and Twitter, which were supposed to connect us, instead tore us apart. Sure, we did this to ourselves to an extent, but we were also helped by external forces. Armies of paid Russian trolls were a surprise element in this year's political discourse, often posing as Americans and using multiple accounts. They spread stories from Russian state media and fake news sites. Teens in Macedonia also looked to cash in, where one small town served as home to over 100 pro-Trump websites. In addition to attempting to steer the conversation through social media and blog comments, many believe that Russia influenced the election through hacking. While concrete evidence has yet to surface, many in the security industry and the US intelligence community are convinced the Kremlin was behind attacks on the DNC, John Podesta, and Colin Powell. Whoever stole the emails passed them to WikiLeaks, which launched a concerted campaign to discredit Hillary Clinton and her allies. One of the loudest voices in the fight for transparency turned itself into the unofficial opposition research arm of the Trump campaign. Those hacked emails and their release by WikiLeaks gave Clinton's opponents plenty of ammunition during an incredibly divisive election season. In the end, stolen emails, trolls, fake news, and propaganda helped decide, at least in some small way, an incredibly close race. Perhaps the most worrying element is the rising tide of anti-intellectualism in the United States. In 2016, a distrust of elites and experts became a full-on rejection of facts, which is part of the reason propaganda and fake news was able to thrive. Even in the face of overwhelming evidence, many now contest objective reality. Take, for instance, climate change, an issue that didn't receive the attention it deserved during the election. At this point, there is scientific consensus and clear data demonstrating that average temperatures around the globe are climbing. That rise is strongly linked to an increase in man-made greenhouse gases. But while other scientific theories with vast amounts of supporting research enjoy broad acceptance, climate change has become a political football. Of course, this is hardly new. But now America faces a president who has called climate change a hoax, and a Congress that tweets bad science from propaganda sites. It's hard to imagine things could get any worse, but don't count out 2017 just yet.